Hey y'all, hey, it's another episode of Bonafide, her podcast featuring the one and only Miss Stephanie Watts. How you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
Girl, we here, we live, we blessed. We blessed to be alive, so.
Most definitely.
and girl, you my 150th episode too.
Love that.
We love it here, so. And girl, I told you, you slay all day too. Slay all day with
Thank
it,
you, thank you, thank you.
so.
Appreciate you.
So let's get started. So, Miss Stephanie, can you tell us like how you got to where you are in your sports journey?
Mm, wow, that's taking it way back. I think really just sticking with it. I started when I was really young, and I think I just stuck with it along the way. I didn't look too far ahead. I just kind of focused on where I was at every moment in my life and worked really hard in every season of my life. So I think that kind of took me to where I am now.
For sure. And like I remember you were really highly recruited and like one of the best players coming out of North Carolina. So, you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were nominated and selected for the McDonald's All American Games. What was that like to be, a nominee and selected for the McDonald's All American Games and this, coming out of, North Carolina as well as being like a legend, a hoop legend in North Carolina?
Oh, I appreciate that. But I think it was just a blessing. Like I'm thankful for I think everything along the way that's came with basketball. But the McDonald's game was something really cool for me because being, playing on a local team most of my life growing up, I didn't think that that's something that I was even in the conversation or a part of. So like to be nominated for that was really cool to me. So definitely a blessing that I was thankful for, an amazing experience. Got to meet a lot of really cool people. So it was cool for sure.
Yes, ma'am. And plus, you got a chance to play at two like prestigious women's basketball program in college, which is UNC and Southern Cal. So, like, can you take us like how the process, like exactly like what was the competition like playing for both of those colleges? Would you say it's very similar or kind of different?
Mm, I would say pretty similar, like both high level basketball for sure. I UNC I played there a bit longer, so I think I know the ACC a little bit better. The ACC is a really great league, really a lot of good competition. So USC actually had another knee injury, so I didn't play as much as I would have liked. But the ACC is definitely a great league that I was thankful to be a part of.
Girl, you right about that about the ACC because this is a whole ACC territory right here. Like the whole state of North Carolina, everything right here is a whole ACC territory. So my question for you is like, you know, what would you say are some of like the misconceptions about the ACC? How like, especially where some people may kind of overlook it just because of certain schools.
Mm. I mean, yeah, the ACC is just you're gonna play tough competition every night, like. Um, yeah, you mean you got Duke, you got NC State, they're all on the rise on the basketball side. So, I mean, the ACC is just a lot of good competition every single night. Like, once you hit that ACC play, it's like, you got Duke, you got North Carolina, you got Clemson, you got Virginia, you got VT, you have all really high level prestigious schools. And I think they're able to all recruit really well because of that. So, you're playing against a lot of high level competition every night when you hit ACC play.
For sure. And like I said, girl, for those that don't know, like it's crazy because like when we came, so the team I was part of, when we came to UNC, and it was crazy because like I remember hearing about you. I was like, I know who, like it's like I don't know who she. I know the name, and I was like, I've seen her, everything. But coming in there, and I'm like, we really playing against UNC. We're playing against Stephanie, which is their best shooter, their best player. So it's like, and then just this is like another game for you hitting 30 points. Like this is like we are getting cooked over here. Just but like honestly, just seeing you play, honestly, just witnessing it, like girl, you are amazing, and I just want to give you your flowers and everything. Like what you are doing is both on and off the court, killing it, and I just wanted to give you your flowers
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
because people need to understand you can't to come out of UNC, one of the best to come out of UNC, like girl. You better let them know what it is.
I worked really hard, so I appreciate that. It means a lot.
So my question for you was, what is, for you to be part of that UNC women's basketball legacy, you being part of that program along with like say some of the greatest like Ivory Ladd, Camille Little, like what was that like to be part of that women's basketball program history along with among the other greats?
It was just a really cool experience for sure. I mean, like going into UNC and knowing like all of the greats that came out and what they were able to accomplish. I think it was just an honor to be a part of that. To when I first signed to UNC, I was just like, this is a dream come true. Like a kid from North Carolina being able to go play for the Tar Heels. I was always super thankful for that. But just to be mentioned along those names is just something that I would have never thought growing up. So it's been a blessing for sure.
What would you say are some of your like say some of your best or favorite like moments from your college career?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Probably, I think it was my freshman year, sophomore year. I hit a game-winning three-pointer to beat Maine in I think it was end of regulation. I hit a three-pointer at the buzzer. It was on New Year's, and my whole family was at the game, and I hit a three to win it, and that was my first game winner in college. So that was a really cool moment for me. And I think playing in the NCAA tournament was an amazing experience as well. So yeah, probably. And then one other cool moment for us was when Notre Dame was ranked number one, and we had like kind of up and down with injuries that year. So we were solid, but we were able to beat them when they were ranked one when they won the Natty that year. So that was a fun game for us. So there were a lot of cool moments for us there at UNC.
Oh, you played against Notre Dame when they had Enrique?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, look, you have to explain to that. So, like, you know, playing during those times, like the ACC back in the day, that was like crazy. Like, that was a crazy competition. So, my question for you is, from your experience of the NCAA tournament, what was that like to get a chance to get the opportunity to play? And then also, what's it like to see like more people watching the NCAA tournament now for women's basketball?
yeah. It was. I think like the switch up is crazy. So like or not even switch up, but just the growth of women's basketball has been like so cool for me to see. Like I was in the NCAA when like it was COVID times, and there was just so many disparities on the women's side. So it was just like we were getting like a banana and a boiled egg in like a box, and we were all just like, "What is going on? Like this is like how they're treating women's basketball." They put like two dumbbells down. I don't know if you remember when Sedona Prince kind of went viral for showing like the weight room at the tournament and stuff like that. So to see where it is now from where it was when I was in college has been like just night and day and a really cool thing to see. So
Girl, the fact that you mentioned, I was like, yeah, I was like, dang, they give you a box of a banana and that was it. I was like,
I still like that comes up in my memories on my phone sometimes because I had took a picture of it and I didn't know how like viral that whole storyline was gonna go. But it's literally like a box with like a cold boiled egg and a banana. And I was like, wait, what? This is like our real life breakfast for the NCAA tournament, and that's what they would bring us to our rooms. And I was like, but yeah, to see like the growth of women's basketball, the viewership go up, like, and just how women's basketball is more respected in today's day, it's been beautiful to see. So definitely a cool thing to see firsthand.
for sure. And girl, I was like, man, when you brought that, I was like, dang, did people forget when that happened? Like the whole thing, like she literally went viral. She's like, I gotta show you what. Like the fact that it was just like the two dumbbells, like you said, and it was the weight room, and then the gym was like next to each other. It wasn't a separate room. And then like the men's had like a whole buffet, while the women's had like just to go boxes, and then the swag bags was like just. I'm just like,
Nah, they were wilding. They were wilding. They gave us them dumbbells and a mat, and the men had like a whole weight room, a whole buffet, all these different things, and we were like, "Wait, what's going on here?" But yeah, it's cool to see how much it's flipped with that.
for sure. I'm telling you, when people call things out, I'll be like, like, well, time to reflect real quickly, and then look at the change. Look at God. Look, like. if you think about it too, like the numbers of people watching the women's games, especially like the championships, like has literally like rose since then, and like even rose like even more watchable than say some men's. I mean, some men's games are good. Don't we not hating on that? But if you look at the numbers, like numbers don't lie though. So
Yeah. Women's viewership is definitely up, high percentages, so it's been cool to see.
I'm telling you, if you invest in women's sports, amazing things happen, y'all. So my question for you is, I remember you got a chance to play in the WNBA. What was that like? And also, like, what was that like to transition going from the W to like overseas?
Mm. It was a cool experience in the W. It was like humbling to see as well, though. Like, a lot of W teams don't have their own facilities, so that was interesting for me for sure, because this is like supposed to be the highest level of women's basketball. So to see some of those disparities even in the highest level was definitely interesting for me, coming from North Carolina where we have amazing facilities. So, but to be even able to play in the WNBA was a blessing. So it was a cool experience for sure, playing against a lot of players that I've played against in college, all the highest level players. So um, yeah, I mean, it was a really cool experience. And then transitioning to overseas, I mean, that's been probably the biggest blessing of my life. So to see the world, travel, and do what I love to do as a living has been, I mean, something unexplainable for me, like just a huge blessing. So,
For sure. And man, overseas, like the overseas competition is like crazy and it's too real. Like just hearing like the different stories and like seeing some of the games, I'm like, man, like what would you say? What would you say are some of the misconceptions about overseas basketball that people like feel like they downplay about overseas competition?
mm. I think with overseas there are a lot of like different levels. Like there's a lot of overseas teams. So people playing in, the same country, there's still a bunch of different levels to it. But when you are on the highest level overseas, the competition is really, really, really good, especially depending on what country you're in, and that kind of thing. But the misconceptions, I would have to know what some of the misconceptions are behind that. But I mean, overseas is great competition. And I just know I've been super blessed by it. It's treated me really well, and yeah, I'm thankful for it for sure. The love that women get overseas is amazing.
You, so like y'all get treated so like you said the love girl. They don't play about overseas for women's basketball. Like the different countries, like they like you mentioned, like they love. I was like, I see it. I was like, I see it,
Yeah,
and
and
I'm.
they're willing to put money into women's sports, so it's cool. It's a cool thing to see.
What would you say? From the past seasons of overseas, what would you say is like probably your top five favorite moments so far?
Ooh. Okay, so last season when I was in Israel, I started off on one team. I got traded. That was probably like the start of like my best overseas experiences when I got traded. I was like, at first I was like, getting traded overseas is kind of wild. Like this is a really interesting and unique experience, getting like traded teams overseas. So I got traded. That team was in first place that I got traded to. And we were able to win the cup, win the championship. So that was just like celebrating all season. We were just having a ball, and like everyone on the team was super close, good friends, and we were winning all the time. So it was such a good experience. So that those were definitely some of my best experiences. And so I would say those. So winning the cup, winning the regular season, those are two really up there moments for me, because it's a really good league. We played against a lot of really, really talented players. So for us to win both was just surreal. Um, More moments. And then I think living in Spain was a beautiful experience for me, honestly. So playing basketball out there, seeing a different style of basketball, and being able to live in Spain for a few years was also a beautiful experience for me. Although the basketball experience part wasn't as like it didn't equal up to my experience in Israel, but I think life off the court was amazing. So I'm thankful for that as well, and to be able to see another culture.
Ooh, you got a cup and a championship during that trade too.
What? I was like, because I was like, this is so crazy. Like, I'm literally like swapping out like with another girl. Like, she's going to my apartment, I'm going to hers. Like, it was so crazy because I was like, I've never experienced this overseas before. But it ended up being, I think, my favorite overseas experience. So I was super thankful for it.
Man, I would have never thought of hearing about like a trade in the middle of the season for overseas at all.
Crazy, crazy. It's not common, but it happens. So.
But that, I mean, you got a championship with it, you got a cup with it, and you got to travel. You getting to travel all over the world. You were like, yep,
For
like,
sure. Resigned back to the same team too, so
hey,
thank
congratulations.
you so much.
So my question for you is like, what are some ways that say somebody wants to say like, hey, I want to do what she is doing. What advice would you give to those that want to be in the same, same level or same league as you?
Mm. I would say the first thing is first, you just have to keep the main things, and that's just being in the gym, sticking to it, committing to the work. So I think a lot of times people are like looking for exposure and looking for opportunities when in reality, like those things come to you when you just like stay in the gym and you work really hard. So I think that's the main thing. And I always say like I don't know if you can hear this train going by, but it's super loud on mine.
Girl, it's all good. It's all good.
I think one of my favorite quotes is the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I feel like I've had a lot of luck in my life, but I feel like that luck has just came around because I work really hard. So a lot of cool opportunities have came to me. But I think the main thing is just working really hard, staying in the gym. So when those opportunities come, you are ready for them and then you can keep expanding on them. So I would say that's the main thing. And sometimes you have to start maybe not where you want to. You're starting at a lower level, but then when you're ready for those opportunities, you kill that opportunity. So then you get a better opportunity. You kill that opportunity. So then you get a better opportunity. So I think it's just appreciating where you're at and really focusing on wherever it is you're at, working really hard and just moving your way up.
For sure. Woo! Where's my fan at? There you go. Yes, I because it's too. I've never heard it yet. The harder you work, the luckier you get. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I'm I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Now I find myself doing the clock in. It's like, man, it's like I'm just here for it. My question for you though is, and this is the deeper part about where I want to always have the athletes share like how more of an athlete they are, like how they are more than an athlete. So my question for you is, when it comes to representation, both on and off the court, how important is representation, whether, being a role model and as well as, say, seeing someone that you looked up to and saying, dang, you know, the fact that they're going, I could relate to what they're going through.
Yeah, I think seeing it is super important because I think when you don't see it firsthand, sometimes you think it's kind of unattainable for you. Like someone else can do it, but like I don't know if I can actually do it. But I think the more you actually do see it, the more you realize, like, hey, like this isn't too far out of reach for me. Like I can do that too. So I like to be around young girls, talk to them, and just let them know that like it's not this far out of reach thing to play professionally. Like you can really do it if you just stick with it, work really hard. So and I think for me, when I was young, once in a blue moon, I would see Sierra Burdick around and she would come in and hop in our practices. And that always was really cool to me because she was just this like amazing basketball player that was, a bit older than me, but I enjoyed watching her. So to see her in person and to see how good she was, it just made me want to work harder and realize like those things are attainable. So I try to do the same thing and be the same thing for young girls now. So.
For sure. And dang, you mentioned Sierra, like, every person, like especially from like the Charlotte area, always mention. I'm like, dang, like she was that girl. I'm like, dang, she was that girl. Like
Most definitely. If you know, you know. But yeah, Sierra Butter super tough. So when I saw her, she hopped in a workout when I was probably like, I don't even know, young though. And she was just going crazy, and I was just like, wow, like she's, an amazing player, an amazing role model, like, and she was someone I looked up to. So to see her firsthand and what she was able to do with her college and professional career definitely inspired me.
for sure, and she made it more where like she's the 3-on-3 for the Olympics, and like made it more like dang, like I would love to be like it made it more fun, and now like being and also like helping a 3-on-3 league now I believe at a not on rival, but it was another one that's happening now, but to like where they say, hey, 3-on-3 for more opportunities for women's basketball, like to see that is like just like super amazing and gives more opportunities for women hoopers to like still play and love the game.
Most definitely.
So my question for you is, and I always say the athletes are humans first, and because a lot of people don't understand like the hard work that athletes, professional and college athletes, have to put in daily, both on and off the court. So my question for you is, as a woman and as an athlete, how important is mental health to you?
Ooh, that's one of the biggest things, honestly. Like, I think that's something you really have to focus on and take care of, because it can creep up on you if you're not doing something for you and things for you to just stay grounded. So I think super important, especially being overseas for months at a time. I think it's just something that's so important to keep in check for sure.
What advice would you give to, like, say, someone that may be dealing with mental health, especially if they are overseas?
Mm. Probably the main thing is knowing like a lot of people are experiencing the same thing and you're not in that boat alone. But I think it's also just taking the proper steps to ground yourself and just be in a good state mentally and emotionally, and to know that you're not always going to be in a good state mentally and emotionally, but to do things for you to get there and grow with that for sure.
And when it comes to that, like, for every person, they should have, like, I always say athletes need like a safe space where they can feel heard and seen. For you, what does a safe space look like to you?
Mm. I think just having my own time to do things that I feel nurture me, like whether that's like reading a book that grounds me, or sitting by the beach, or where I can just think and reflect on my own. But I think sometimes when you're like constantly feeling like, why am I feeling like this? And you're like, don't allow yourself the space to feel that way. I think that's when you kind of get more flustered with it. So I think it's just like allowing yourself to be sometimes and be in different seasons, and know that like overseas isn't always going to be like, even not even overseas, but just life in general isn't always going to be an even keel, and you're not going to always feel your best, but just allowing yourself to not feel your best, and find the little things for you that can like help you get back to your best though.
For sure, because gotta let them know, because you know each day, each day when we wake up, we're just super blessed to be alive. And sometimes I always say to, check on the strong and happy people in your life. You never know what they're going through. Sometimes they need that same reassurance, just like, everyone else, anybody could say they fine, but it's like make sure to just love on them and just embrace them because you never know what they're going through. So, but I'm telling you, girl, I love the hair. I just want to say I love your hair. Like
Thank you so much.
it's like I just love the hair.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And first of all, I love the content for your social media. It is like chef's kiss, hello, like slay on all day. So my question for you is, how do you balance social media and sports? How do you balance both of those things?
Hmm. I think I've been on there like probably a little bit less lately, but I think it's just like posting stuff that's authentic to me and that like is meaningful to me. So I think for me lately, like I haven't been on there quite as much, but just like I post what feels authentic. So like when my team is doing well, like I'm kind of just sharing those things with because I know my friends and family like to keep up, so I just try to share like where I am in life, where I am in the moment, and just being really authentic. I think
Girl, yes, big on authentic, cause yes, cause I'm like that. She traveling all over the world. I'm like the beach, and I'm like,
yeah, I have been all over the place. I have. After the season, I like to kind of balance it out with like I lock in on all season long, and then after I kind of try to vacay mode a little bit and run around and enjoy life. So
hey, you gotta enjoy the little things while you gotta enjoy the nice things while you can work and then also enjoy like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna take my vacation. I'm gonna do something to reward myself.
for
So,
sure, and I really try to do it in season two when we have an off day. I just try to enjoy myself and just not even think about basketball. So for sure.
so my question for you, I wish here's the thing. I wish NIL would have happened when you were there, because girl, you would have made so much bank during that time. So my question for you is, if NIL had happened during your time, what would be like some of your dream collaboration deals?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm into fashion, so something with some type of clothing brand, probably. Maybe skincare line. I'm super big into skincare, so probably some one of those two things would be really cool for me. Some type of skincare, some type of clothing brand working with them.
Hey, we love it. It's like it's like I'm just a girl. We love
Sure.
it's like we love the skincare, we love fashion. Cause I'm telling and cause when it comes to media days for the women hoopers, the media day pictures,
For sure.
it was always I felt like it was always a holiday when the media day pictures for women's hoops came out. I'm like,
Fact.
slay, pretty, beautiful, yes, hello, like yes, it's like a
Most
holiday.
definitely. A lot of fun.
Cause it's like it break. Cause it's like a yes, they can hoop like for days, but seeing it's like people don't. It's like, but them just being able to be themselves on media day, just you know, glamming it out and everything, and just it's like we could be a beauty off the court, but we'll beast it out on the court. It's
Do
like
that.
it's like the best of both worlds. So
For sure. For sure. We love duality.
preach on that one too. So my question for you is, if you had to describe your journey so far overall, whether it's a phrase or a word, what would it be?
Mm. First thing that comes to mind for me is like a lot of overcoming. Like, this setback, but then you get back. This setback, but then you get back. I've had three knee surgeries. So it's kind of been like up and down for me, like my whole basketball career. But I've just still been able to work really hard and get back on the right track. So I've been thankful for it for sure.
And you doing it, girl. You are killing it. Just like I said, you are killing it both on and off the court. And you know, never downplay your success, girl. Just you know, embrace it and enjoy it, and be proud of yourself. Because I'm very proud of you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Of course. And my question for you is, I always ask my guests this question because bona fide means authentic and unique. So, what makes Miss Stephanie Watts bona fide, and what makes your story stand out?
Mm, what makes my story stand out? I think just how much I've been able to overcome whatever's thrown at me and do it with a smile. So no matter kind of what comes my way, I don't let that affect how I move forward. So I think I've just been able to move forward, whatever's come at me. I've had like a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but I think I just moved through that with grace. So I've been thankful for what all of that has taught me, the lessons that's brought me, and just the perspective that's gave me on life. So
Ooh, you better let them know.
for
Look
sure.
at God, and we thankful too. Blessed.
Most definitely thankful, very thankful.
You better let them know, girl, because, hey, we here for it. So, Miss Stephanie, can you let the folks know where and how they can find you and support you, and if there's any upcoming events, seasons happening for you in your overseas?
Yeah, so Instagram is where I'm mainly at, SWAT5, and I'll be in Israel this upcoming season. So probably playing Euro Cup. So follow us on that, international basketball, and that's about it.
Y'all heard it from the queen here first. Y'all heard it from the queen herself, y'all. So be sure to follow Miss Stephanie at S Watts number 5 on Instagram, and be sure to check her out this season at Israel. She's going for the Euro Cup, and be sure to check her out, and be sure to check out the live replay of Bonafide her podcast episode 150 featuring Stephanie Watts after this. A big shout out and thank you to Miss Stephanie for coming on and sharing your story. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.